Hi, this is Johnny Bergen with another Chicago Blues guitar lesson. I'm sure many of you probably recognized that introduction, that 4-bar intro to Ludella by Jimmie Rodgers. Jimmie Rodgers is one of my all-time favorite blues artists, and I'm just crazy about everything he did. And I thought I'd do Ludella because it's kind of a companion piece to my previous lesson from last week, Louisiana Red's I'm a Roaming Stranger. They're both in the key of A out of this position. And they're completely different. The Ludella by Jimmie Rodgers is a lot more organized, whereas the Louisiana Red is way more free and almost in a Lightnin Hopkins electric style. This is more of like in a Mississippi Robert Johnson acoustic style, even though it is on an electric guitar. And the chords are way more, they have like way more like counterpoint to them, and it's just more highly organized, I guess. But if you can really look at both these songs and then look at Eddie Taylor, who basically invented the key of A practically for electric guitar and for a band context, then you are ready to go in the key of A. And I just can't overstate the importance of that. I'm playing in these different positions because, so many guitar players and even people who are playing gigs and stuff, everything is out of like an E position or an E position that's been moved up. And that's like 30% of the guitar. And A has such a strong blues flavor and a heavy sound to it. So this is a great way to get rolling in the key of A, and it's a great way to look at Jimmie Rodgers. What a great singer, what a great guitar player. Looks like he used his fingers. And, I've even seen him several times, and I wasn't paying attention to, did he have a peg, did he use the fingers, or whatever. I don't know, I must have had rocks in my head. I think back then in my early 20s, I was so focused on the notes in the left hand, and as I got older, I focused more and more right hand. So, anyway, there's another great version of Ludella. It's on a record called Chicago Blues at Home. It's just him and Johnny Littlejohn. It's mostly the same. He does a few things differently, but it's mostly the same. So this is kind of a set piece, like the way that Robert Lockwood would play various Robert Johnson songs. It's kind of a set piece. So now I'm going to go through the intro and the various parts of this song. Here we go. So this is the top part of A minor chord. And this is that stinging thing. It's the same thing. That's Allright. The most famous Jimmie Rodgers song. Same position, it's just in E. So I like to use my second two fingers for this rather than this. You're way more balanced this way. This was the E7th chord. I just use my three fingers like this. And he just plucks the strings. He just kind of plucks it like that. And then you've got the D7th with the open E string that he sort of takes on and off on the second fret of the E string. And then you could use your thumb, or you can do like this. I think it's easier with your thumb. Thumb's on the second fret of the low E string. Something real slick there that I do want you to notice, okay? On the I'll just interrupt myself real briefly. On the Chicago Blues at Home version, he does something neat. He goes something like that, so he switches around a little bit, but he's still here. Now this is the part I was talking about. See how I just went? I just switched like that. And that's so much better than this. You're really not going to be able to use this fingering of an A chord or this fingering of an A chord. You're going to need to use the blues fingering of the A chord, this, because you got to reach up to this. And then he does this. then A7th, E. And this is kind of the more organized counterpoint sort of thing that I was talking about that makes it different from the Louisiana Red, you know, Lightnin Hopkins style, kind of free style. It's not free, it's very organized. So that is, so it's 1, 5, 1. And you hear that not just in the intro, you hear it as the song goes on. And interestingly, you know, Louis Meyers, Robert Lockwood, Jimmy Rogers, they're all doing this. And they do it in E. Like I love the way Robert Lockwood did this. So either that was still a 1, 5, 1, right? Same thing in E. So you're going to see this again and again from these guitar players. And you even hear it like in the Little Walter, you know, like. That's kind of a. So, here we are. Ludella, Ludella. Baby, don't you hear me calling you? And sometimes you'll hear this. You know, Jimmy spent time in St. Louis and he was influenced by Walter Davis. And I really think there's a Walter Davis connection. And this is very Scrapper Blackwell. You know, I tried so hard. I'm just hammering this on. Baby, trying along with you. That's on the original. On the Chicago Blues at Home, it's, you know. And then he just does a lump with a little ping in it. Now you know I pay your house rent. Give you everything you need. I'm working 7 days in the peach orchard, trying to keep it clean. Ludella, Ludella. So if you can do this, you're in good shape. Sounds good fast too. Sounds like a new song. So that's just a lump, right, with the 3 and 4. Okay, so let's go to the solo. It starts like in the intro. This is just moving it 3 frets down. That makes it part of an A chord like this. Then he moves that shape down 2 frets on the B and E string. But this, if you're not familiar with this, it's like a D chord. Or it's like a C chord that's been moved all the way up. I like to relate things to things that you already know, and I'm sure you know a C chord. So you have a C chord, then do it with these 3 fingers, move it up, and then all you need is the top part of it. So you don't have to play the whole chord, you just have to think it. So. Or if you want to play just like the record, you could play the mistake. No, now you're really talking. Actually, I like it. It's so dramatic, you know. Maybe he even did it on purpose to make it bigger and bolder. We'll never know. And then, just like on I'm a Lonesome Stranger on the 4, he goes to this. But he plays it more chordal, right? Because this is like it's like a chord set piece. Now this is a super important part. This is a key to his whole. He's always doing this, playing this really pretty middle part of the chord. Like he does this in Lonesome Blues. I'm a little lonesome, don't know what in the world to do. You know, that, which is the Robert Johnson thing from Kind Hearted Woman. But in Ludella, he does this, okay? Then dig it. This is like an E 7th triad over an A string. And that resolves very neatly to the long A, right? And then he walks down. It's another boogie pattern kind of that's on a higher register that you see that a lot. That feels like a boogie, you know? You know, just like... And then here's your 5. Back to the resolve. And then just... That's the 5. And then on the 4 is where he always puts this awesome bass run. And you could use whatever kind of bass run. The actual notes are not quite as important as if you start at the right place and you end at the right place. The notes will be in here. He did not play all those notes in this case, but they're all fair game. Freddie King definitely, I think, got that from Jimmy Rogers. He was very influenced by Jimmy Rogers. You know, he's always putting those things in there. So that's pretty much most of the way Ludella goes, except for the ending, which is really great. So, you know, I tried so hard. Notice he doesn't really play the whole chord. He just... That's another thing that's in Lonesome Traveler. He goes... You know, you can just play the top, just 3 notes. That. Baby, trying it along with you. And then... That's interesting because those are... He never did that before. So he broke the pattern, which is a great way to send a cue. Hey, dude, this is the end, right? Let's get it together, right? I'm going to do that again. So if you want to listen to some more Jimmy Rogers, Gold-Tailed Bird is great. Sloppy Drunk is great. They both have Louis Meyers and other tremendous players. Gold-Tailed Bird has Freddie King on it, which is a neat combination. And, of course, Chicago Bound, which has all his chess singles. But Jimmy Rogers could do no wrong, and what a great singer. And I love these pretty parts of the chord like this. And he did this a lot, which is like the Magic Sam chord that's moved down where your root's on the E string. Come here, baby. Come here, baby. Sit down on your daddy's knee. He just had a beautiful sound. If some of you would share some memories of Jimmy Rogers, this giant of the blues and one of the best singers ever, even if you never picked up a guitar, and founding father of Chicago blues. If some of you who knew him, saw him, would like to share some stories on this YouTube clip, I would be very grateful. So thanks a lot. Do subscribe to my YouTube channel and see you next Monday.